Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie, and this is your weekly reading for July 26th through August 1st. Quick disclaimer, this is a general reading and cannot possibly resonate with everyone. Take what applies to you and leave the rest. This reading is for this week. However, time is an illusion, and the future is never set in stone. So, these messages may apply now, next week, or last week, or never. If you feel this reading isn't for you, you're probably right. Trust your intuition. There are hundreds of wonderful readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation. I cuss sometimes and am bad at sugarcoating, but anything I say comes from a place of love and understanding. My channel is a judgment-free zone. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor, lawyer, physicist, neurologist, dentist, veterinarian, psychologist, or professor of any kind. I'm just a girl with a passion for the tarot, and anything that I say resembling advice is based solely on my opinion and ever-evolving cornucopia of experiences and observations. As well as interpretations of the cards and little bits that pop into my head intuitively. If you didn't catch all that, I will post this disclaimer in the description. Okay, with that out of the way, we will go ahead and start our reading. Starting this reading out this week with an archetype card, again, like a couple weeks ago. I already drew it. You guys got the Poet. Okay, the poet is an artist. The poet is a writer. The poet is, they're an artist of the written word, I guess. And they have a special connection to the divine, and they have a special understanding that allows them to take a concept and turn it into a piece of beautiful artwork that can in turn communicate a very important message or idea to other people in a way that makes them feel it. And so in this way, the poet is very powerful. The poet is very strong. The poet can create with love, and the poet can do harm with their creation. The poet is a master with words, a master communicator. And so, you know, with great power comes great responsibility and all that. But that's kind of the idea behind the poet. So, with Gemini being ruled by Mercury, this is no surprise. Gemini is all about communication. Gemini is all about the spoken word, or the written word, or any word. Gemini is about words. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I apologize. Anyway, I do kind of equate this Poet card to the Queen of Swords as well, if that helps kind of understand it a little bit better. But with that being said, that's going to be a general theme for the reading. That may be a theme over the next week, like how you communicate and what ways you use to communicate certain concepts to other people, and whether or not you are communicating out of love or something else. So keep that in mind. So I will now pull a card that will give us a little insight into cosmic energies that may be playing into whatever is going on for you guys this week. With some cosmic energies for my Gemini. Alright, we have the disseminating moon, and it says, take time to breathe out. So maybe you've been waiting on something, or you've been under a lot of stress. You've been holding your breath for something for some reason, and no. Sorry about that. Okay, anyway. Take time to breathe out. Relax. From that, the phrase take a breather comes to mind. So you may just need a break. Because of the poet and the idea that the poet could, I almost feel like you really need to take a step back and relax, and I'm just going to let this guy drive by real quick. Vroom, vroom. Alright. You may need to be stepping back and taking a break and relaxing before you say something that might hurt somebody. You may be upset or angry about something, or you may just be in a situation right now that's very volatile or fragile, I guess, for lack of a better word. And so you have to be really careful with what words you use, how you communicate, and what you communicate to whoever is involved. And honestly, at this point in time, at least here in the United States, like, words are very important. The global situation is actually quite volatile. People are easily well, some people can be easily offended or easily misunderstand the words that someone else might be saying and take things the wrong way. And so you kind of find yourself limited and imprisoned by this, where you feel like you can't speak your mind, or you can't say what you think, or you can't say what you know without causing problems. And then that is very frustrating, especially for a Gemini, when they can't speak their mind without, worrying about it feeling like they've attacked somebody. So to me, this is all about you stepping back. You got a lot on your mind, a lot you want to say. You're having to bite your tongue for a long period of time, and now you just need to step back and relax and reevaluate and ask yourself, do I really need to say that? Is that really important for other people to hear? And if it is, then say it. This goes both ways. If it's not, don't say it. But if it is important, and you know something and that needs to be shared, that needs to be spoken out loud, then you need to say it. But you need to say it from a place of calmness and understanding and compassion. And for that to occur, you have to step back and woosah for just a minute. Okay. So now we will go ahead and we will get into the tarot. What's going on in the material realm for Geminis this week? What's going on with the material? Okay. So you have the Seven of Pentacles, or the Seven of Zent in this deck. And the Seven of Pentacles is, to me, all about starting to see the fruits of your labor, right? Starting to see the reward for the time and energy and potentially even resources that are, money, invested into a certain project or a business or work, something that you're trying to manifest and bring into being. The Seven is all about not only starting to see some growth from that and starting to see the reward, but also stopping and observing it and appreciating, first of all, what you've created, the progress that you've made, and evaluating what the best next step is in your process in order to continue this positive trend of development and progress. So next we'll go ahead and we'll check out the mental. What's going on in the mental for my Geminis? And we have the Executive of Arms in reverse. This is the King of Swords in reverse. So, I don't know, you might be feeling a little bossy. You also could be, man, I hate to say it, but some of you guys may be finding yourself kind of in a very, pessimistic, perfectionist kind of energy, where maybe you're being a little bossy, or perhaps there's somebody else that's affecting you who is this way. But I think that your mindset right now is just like you've zeroed in on what you want and how you think things should go. And not only are you not willing to deviate from your plan or what you think is right, but you have no patience for anybody else's ideas, or any other way that something could be done, basically. Because the King of Swords is very intellectual, very logical, and he stands for truth. So in the reverse aspect, perhaps your truth is a little bit twisted, or you're not coming from a very clear perspective, and you need a better perspective, more information, perhaps. There's also an element of like manipulation or abusive behavior as well. So if that's you, you need to really step back. Again, like it says, time to breathe out. Step back and make sure that you are still operating from a place of love and acceptance, understanding, and compassion. Because whatever it is that you're building, whatever it is that you're raising up and creating, is going to be a reflection of what you put into it, basically. And so if there's ugliness put into it, basically, then that is what it's going to reflect when it comes fully to fruition. This could have a lot to do with karma as well. Well, I say that just because of the whole Saturn direct thing right now, but actually, I think that this ties back in with that poet card. Like, you may be upset or just really passionate about something, and you want to say things that would hurt people. Like, you just want to be mean. And in your mind, I think you just want to be, like, straightforward and honest. If there's a lot of bullshit going on around you and you're just sick of it, or you're sick of other people and how they lie to themselves or their twisted perspectives, and you want to, you just want to lash out. You want to cut them deeply in the heart with your words to try to make a point, to get your idea across, or, because you may be right on the surface, or, deep down, you may be right, and they may be wrong, or however you see it. But this, to me, seems to be about how you approach the situation, how you communicate your ideas, and how you feel about things that other people may be doing, or how things may be operating around you. You may not be a huge fan, and you really want to express that. But so far in this reading, the advice is to be very wise and very cautious about the words you use, because your words are powerful. You can do a lot of damage, or you can do a lot of good. And you have to decide which one you want. Do you want to do damage? Do you want to hurt people? Or do you want to help people grow and enlighten them and give them information? It's all about how you present your words. So, that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the emotional body for the Gemini. How are the Geminis doing emotionally? And we got the Hermit in reverse. So you might be isolating a little bit. I have a feeling that whatever this situation is, because you really don't have a whole lot of control over it, that you, and also you may be very agitated with the way that people are doing things around you, or maybe something somebody else said is really just pissing you off, and you're like, you don't really want to rock the boat, but at the same time, you really don't want to deal with it either, and so you're isolating, you're hiding, you're just, like, not wanting to be involved at all anymore. But what you're doing, you can't really grow from that, because upright, the Hermit reflects, the Hermit thinks and philosophizes. Anyway, I hope you know what I tried to say there. But in the reverse aspect, the Hermit is just hiding so that he does not have to adjust his worldview or check his ego or admit that he is wrong. So you might just think about that. Is that you, or is that somebody that you're dealing with? Perhaps this is somebody else that is affecting you right now, and you're being offered some insight into why they might be behaving poorly or not being very understanding in whatever situation you're in. So whether it's you or somebody else, there's dysfunction, and then there is an individual who sees this dysfunction and dislikes it and thinks that they know a better way, and they're not happy. They're not happy where they're at. They're not happy with how things are going, and they want to speak their mind because they want to see change occur. But if they're not careful about how they do that, then their message will not be heard as it is meant to be, basically. So we'll see now what's going on with the Geminis spiritually. What's going on a spiritual level for Gemini? All right, the Executive of Wires, which is the King of Wands. So for that to be your spiritual energy, you're feeling very driven, very connected on a spiritual level. There's something, you hear the calling, you feel it. You feel like extremely motivated to move forward. And so I get a very strong sense of frustration here because something is getting in your way, and I think you might be tripping over your own ego a little bit. Now, that Executive of Wires did come out upright, so I think that is mostly positively expressed, but perhaps it is this King of Wands energy that is turning your King of Swords into that reverse aspect where, you know, you really want something and you feel like you're right and you know you're right. You might be right. And you're very driven to make sure that everybody else knows what you know. And you're getting ahead of yourself. You're tripping on your own ego. I think I already said that. So stepping back and reflecting on why other people being wrong about something bothers you so much. That might be important to look at because, I mean, if you're thinking about like the Earth Ascension, on the grand scheme of things, everybody does need to be on the same level eventually. But in your specific situation, if somebody's doing something and you think they're doing it the wrong way, or somebody doesn't understand something and you are to the point where you're extremely agitated about it, if you feel like you want to, you know, rip them apart with your words just to get your point across, maybe you should sit down and think, why does this bother me so much? Why is this bothering me? Why can't I let this go? You know, and why do I want to lash out? Like, why does this make me angry? Because I do get some anger in this reading. And it is all about, even though it's from a place of ego, I do not think that it is necessarily, like, selfish. It's just that, you know, you know what's right, you know what's going on. You see something for exactly what it is. And it's obvious to you. But for some reason, it's just not obvious to the people around you, and you cannot understand why they're not seeing what you're seeing, and that can be very frustrating. But you have to remember that everyone comes to their truth in their own time. Everyone's on their own path, moving at their own pace, and, you know, we still have to find a way to work together. We still have to find a way to get along, even if we're not on the same page all the time. So for you guys, if this applies to you, this won't apply to all of you, and I understand that. But if it does apply to you, before you lash out, before you start a fight, before you hurt somebody's feelings, even if you are right, take a step back. Take a deep breath. Go chill by yourself and, you know, blow off some steam playing a game or something, and just, you know, reflect on why you care as much as you do and why it is important before you speak. And if you come to the conclusion that, you know, harsh words are necessary, then by all means use them. But think about it first. Alright, so the next card I'm going to pull a card for your general situation this week. Just a little more clarification on what you might be going through. And we have on the floor the 10 of Wires. So this is the end of something. This is completion. This is pure exhaustion when it comes to the Wands, suit of Wands. That's 10 of Wands. Keep forgetting that got different suits on these cards. So that's probably going to also lead to your frustration and your inclination to be harsh and judgmental, is because you're exhausted. You've probably been dealing with a lot of bullshit, and you're just you feel like you're sitting watching the worst circus in the whole world. The monkeys are totally untrained. You don't understand why anybody would even think that this was acceptable or working, and that's really frustrating, especially if it all seems so clear to you. And perhaps in this process, you've been exerting a lot of energy trying to operate in a situation that doesn't appear to be following any lines of logic. And because you are so logical, because you're very smart and very keen and observant, you actually expend a lot more energy trying to work around everybody around you and trying to get everybody to see what you see, that it's just wearing you out. It's wearing you down, and that's what's got you to this point where you just want to explode verbally. So to me, that's kind of more confirmation that you need a little vacation. If you can take like a real vacation, that would be optimal. But at the very least, you've got to get away from other people. You've got to go get by yourself, and you've got to just chill and relax, because You can't change other people, and you can't force somebody to understand something that they are not ready nor willing to understand. And if you, I think I've already said this, but if you approach the situation aggressively, then you could hurt the situation even more, because if there's somebody who's just totally misunderstanding something, and they may truly not understand where you're coming from, or they might not understand where they're going wrong. You can't know unless you are like a mind reader from the CIA, which I don't even know exists. But you can't understand, you can't know what people are thinking. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know why they're having so much trouble grasping a concept that is so clear to you. And if you approach aggressively, or you judge them for that, or you lash out at them for that, you could push them even further away from truth and understanding, and we don't want that. We're all working together here. So if you feel like my mom always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. Walk away. And I tell people that all the time when I get into that kind of, because I am also a Gemini, and when I get in that mood, I'm just like, people are like, what's wrong, Maddie? And I'm like, no, I'm walking away. I'm walking away. And I might walk away for like a week or a couple years, whatever you need. Okay, enough of that tangent. Go ahead and pull up a card for some challenges that you're going to encounter this week, as if we weren't already covering all of those. Let's see, what other challenges might Gemini be dealing with this week? Alright, so we have the Agent of Vials, which is the Knight of Cups, and it is in reverse. So, this could be somebody that you're dealing with who, again, thinks very unrealistically and fantastically, who maybe doesn't have a good grip on reality or the reality of a specific situation. There could also be, among you guys could be a little moody, or having, strong emotional reactions to things that perhaps wouldn't normally get to you on that deep of a level. And this ties back into this disseminating moon. Take time to breathe out. Like, you're being affected really deeply and emotionally by things that are going on around you right now. And so if you find yourself getting moody and getting in that mindset, getting very emotional about something that you can't even control, then it's time to remove yourself from the situation until you can calm down and regain perspective. Okay. Pull one more card for challenge for Gemini this week, and then we'll move on to advantages. Okay, so we have the Six of Zent, which is also the Six of Pentacles. It is upright. So a challenge being charity. That's the Six of Pentacles. Charity or help or give or take also, or give and take rather, is a big part of that. What in the world is going on out there? I apologize for any weird noises in the background. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. So for the Six of Pentacles to be a challenge, right? Perhaps you may be having a hard time helping somebody else. You may be having a hard time accepting help from somebody else. Or you may be struggling to share stuff, share money, share time, share ideas, share space. Like, you may just be having, like, I'm starting to really pick up, like, a very, like, get the fuck away from me vibe from this reading for you guys. Like, you might just really need to be alone. And so the Six of Pentacles to me could be regarding sharing space, like sharing air, breathing the same air as other people. Maybe you just shouldn't this week. Well, I don't know. I won't jump to that conclusion yet, because obviously it's a challenge, and a challenge is meant to be met and overcome. So if you do find yourself having a lot of trouble being generous, being kind, being accepting, understanding, if you're having trouble sharing time and money and space or whatever it is, then same as I have already said 100 times, take a break, step back, time out until you can get back, get your head straight, and get your emotions in check, so that you don't say something you don't mean, and no one gets hurt, basically. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on from all those problems, and let's look at what advantages you have that can help you get ahead this week. So we have the Ten of Cups, Ten of Vials in this deck, and to me what this is suggesting is that an advantage that you have is a solid, loving support system. You have a good family, and it could be blood family, it could be your friends that you call your family, because that's what my family is like. I'm not blood related to hardly any of my family, only like a few people. So you have a really good, strong support system here, as indicated by the Ten of Vials. And these are people that you can turn to in this time when you need that perspective, when you need someone who loves you, who can give it to you straight. Because as a Gemini likes to give it straight, but a Gemini needs to get it straight too. Like we can't be, or at least from my personal experience as a double Gemini, you can't sugarcoat something for me. You can't be crafty with your words in order to not hurt my feelings. Like it's almost agitating more for people to be like trying to baby me when they're trying to give me information. When I'm wrong, I need someone to give it to me straight so that I can fully understand and be impacted by what mistakes I've made, or, you know, what I need to change in my situation. It's just how we learn sometimes, you know? So if you need support, or you need a little help gaining some perspective, turn to your friends, turn to your family, turn to the people who love you most, who are invested in helping you grow, because that's where you're going to find comfort and understanding and, honesty that is not paired with judgment. One more advantage for Geminis this week, please. One more advantage for Gemini. We have the Ace of Arms, which is the Ace of Swords. You see, like, I love these cards. Like, I'll have to, when I get a new camera, I'm going to show you guys these cards. I think I'll do, like, a deck interview. But it's blueprints, right? New ideas, new plans, a question, an investigation, like a new door has opened up, some kind of opportunity and quest for knowledge for you guys. And this may be the quest to learn how to deal with people who don't understand as much as you do, or how to get along with people when you feel like you're right and they're wrong. It could be something totally different too. You may just be starting some kind of new adventure, some kind of new research project. It really could be anything that has to do with the intellect, understanding, and communication. So with this new opportunity, I think it's gonna help reinvigorate you a little bit, help you get excited about things so that you're not getting stuck in that moodiness and that pessimistic attitude. And that'll just help you to blow off steam and get it out of your system, basically, if you're able to pursue something new and keep yourself, and it may be something serious. It may not just be just for entertainment, but it could help keep you entertained at the very least until you're able to reach a new level of understanding that allows you to be a little more compassionate towards others. And I know I've been kind of critical in this reading, but I'm only reading the cards. There's no judgment whatsoever. Everything that I've spoken of, I've experienced personally myself. I have been the bad guy many times when I have said something that out of feeling like I was right and they were wrong and I needed to make a point. I've felt that before. I have felt, sitting in a classroom years ago, feeling like everybody around me was dumb and frustrated that nobody could understand what I was saying. But really the problem was me not accepting where they were at and meeting them on their level, or me not, me being egotistical and thinking I'm smarter than everybody else, when truth is, I'm not really. Maybe I may know different things than other people know, but I don't know more things than what everybody else knows. And so part of that process is just coming into that awareness that sometimes we are wrong. And it sucks. But it is what it is, So we'll pull one more card, and this card, well, one more tarot card. Figure out what is the lesson this week for us Geminis. What's the lesson? The Seven of Vials. Interesting. Seven of Cups. Actually, I'm gonna clarify that before I speak anymore. I don't wanna. I'm a Gemini. I don't want to be wrong. Let's see. Let's clarify that Seven of Cups for me, please. The Three of Arms, which is also the Three of Swords. So, perhaps there needs to be some discernment when it comes to relationships or friendships. It could be romantic. I don't know. It's just this idea of like you're being offered all these cups and you tasted from the wrong cup and it made you sick. It poisoned you, right? So I have a feeling that perhaps, and then I kind of equate that to like choosing your reality. Like the Matrix, red pill, blue pill. Well, in the tarot, it's, cup number 1, cup number 2, cup number 3. Which cup do you drink from? Perhaps you chose a cup. It was the wrong cup. It made you sick. It hurt you. That damn cup betrayed you. And that might be kind of the root behind your struggle this week. It may be what's got you upset. Perhaps you see other people drinking from the same cup that you drink from that burned you, that made you sick, and you're getting frustrated. You're telling people not to drink from that cup, and they don't believe you, or they don't agree with you, or they do what they want regardless. And the truth is that is their journey. That's their lesson. Your lesson, perhaps this week, is to allow everybody to learn their own lessons however they need to learn them, whether it be the slow, hard way, or the logical, easy, fast way. It's just everybody in their own time, on their own schedule, on divine timing, honestly. So I can see now, from looking at this spread, that the reason why you're so frustrated with other people and their lack of understanding is because you've been there too, and you didn't like it. It wasn't just that you were wrong about something or that you chose the wrong cup, but you got hurt. Like, you got seriously hurt. Okay, that Three of Swords is no joke. And it's almost so upsetting to see other people be hurt the same way you did that you're getting mad at them because you feel like they're setting themselves up for it. But, they're just exactly where you were when you made the same mistake. I feel like I'm getting a little specific, so this, again, probably won't apply to every Gemini in the world. But if you're having a lot of frustration with the people around you, you feel like they're making stupid mistakes, you may feel that way because you made the same stupid mistake, and you just need to remember how you were thinking when you made that stupid mistake. Could anybody in that moment have told you not to drink from that cup? Could anybody in that moment have told you which cup was the right cup and you would have just believed them and done what they said? I don't think so. I wouldn't have. I never did. And I do speak as an authority on being a Gemini, but don't quote me on that. All right. So I'm done yelling at you guys about that. Let's go ahead. We'll pull a few more oracle cards, get this reading wrapped up so that I can cut y'all loose. Let's see. So let's go ahead and we will dig into past influences on you guys. Something that's influencing you from the past that is affecting your situation this week. Well, we got past influences for Gemini. Okay. We have the Morrigan, the Weaver of Fate. Antipathy, introspection, and opposition. A bit of a rebel, I see. Gemini. You spend a lot of time in introspection. You spend a lot of time reflecting. And you learned a lot in that process. And so that's where you're coming from right now. That's why you may be feeling the way you're feeling right now. Because you probably do have a very rebellious nature, very independent, and explorative. Like, you're going to figure out how everything works for yourself. You're going to do it your way. And you did. And you learned a lot. And you made a lot of mistakes. And then you spend a lot of time in reflection to understand those mistakes that you made and to gather the lessons from it. You're just forgetting that everybody else has to go through the exact same process that you did. And that it may take them a little longer. And all you can really do is be patient and compassionate and be ready, to take their outstretched hand when they finally realize that, they need advice or they need help. Or, the other way around, if it's you who needs advice and needs help, don't be afraid to reach out for that. All right, so now we'll go ahead and we'll pull a card for what factors may be at play in your subconscious. Subconscious for Gemini. What's going on? What's going on in subconscious for Gemini? Okay, so we have the devil. Okay. Bad habits, self-destructive behaviors, overindulgence, all about having fun, all about, kind of lacking responsibility. This could also have to do with addiction. It's very much a similar meaning in this deck as it is to the tarot. So if you do have any bad habits that you've been indulging in or ignoring, it's time to deal with that, because that's part of what's holding you back subconsciously, and that may be a big reason why you are struggling with your ability to understand and, empathize and connect with other people at this time. So it's definitely time to evaluate, like, what are you doing? What are you putting into your body? What are you, what behaviors are you indulging in? Are they hurting you or are they helping you? And if they're not healthy, then what can you do to, eliminate that slowly from your life so that you can make room for things that are healthy and, what's the word I'm looking for? Beneficial? I don't know. That wasn't the word I was looking for, but it'll work. So, subconscious influence, the devil. Work on that. Let's see. So now we'll go ahead and we'll pull a card for energies that you are attracting this week. What energy is Gemini attracting this week? The rabbit. Spontaneous, or in this context, spontaneity. That is the energy that you are attracting this week. So things may be just popping up and happening out of the blue. You may be making plans last minute. You might be just up and deciding to do something, and that's just how things have been this week for you. Like, nothing's really planned out. There's not a lot of structure. And if that works for you, then cool. It's all about flow. It's all about being able to go with the flow, follow your heart, do what you know is right, and then it doesn't matter if it's spontaneous or not, because if you trust in spirit to guide you, then you're going to be guided in the right direction. So that's how I kind of feel about that. Let's see. So the next card that I'll go ahead and I'll pull is going to be something that you guys need to let go, something you can let go to, to free yourself up a little bit. Something you're holding on to that doesn't help you anymore. What can you, Gemini, let go? I got the lion, which is interesting. So the lion usually stands for, like, courage and strength. It's very similar to the tarot. Leadership. The lion is a leader. And also, lions travel in groups and prides, which could, in human terms, could be referred to as a tribe. And you know what else I get from the lion? Ego. So I think what you guys need to let go of, and myself included probably, is ego. Okay, like this, you're often finding yourself to be the leader, and you're used to that, you like that, you don't want that to change, but maybe it is time for that to change. Maybe this time around, this week, in this situation, you're not the leader. You're not in charge. You don't get to tell everybody what to do, and nobody has to listen to you. And that is okay. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to be in charge all the time. You don't have to be right all the time. So I think that this week for you, what you're letting go of is just, feeling like you got to be top dog or top cat, whatever you are. And pride. I don't know why that didn't click in my head just a second ago. Pride. Let go of your pride. You're very proud. I'm sure you are. I don't know. Most people are. I can be. So if you are a very proud person, and if it is your pride that's getting in your way, then it's time to take that down a notch. Remember where you came from and what you experienced and how you got to where you are today. And remember to look at other people with that same consideration. Okay, so a couple more cards and we'll call it good. Pull a couple cards for your strengths this week. What are your strengths that are going to help you get through this tough energy? Yep, compassion. I know my camera won't focus and you can't tell that that's what that says, but I promise it is. It says compassion. Tapping into your ability to feel compassion towards others as well as yourself. This is what's going to get you through the next week. This is what's going to help you to not be a huge bitch when you're frustrated. Not that I'm saying you are a bitch, but if you are, you know, if that happens sometimes, I know it happens to me, you know, being able to remember that everybody's just human and they're just doing their best most of the time, then this is gonna help you get through this week, because I just feel like it's gonna be really difficult because people are not gonna be on the same wavelength this week for some reason. For you guys, Gemini. Sincerity. Don't you like how we've got 2 blue dragons there? Okay, sincerity, honesty, coming from a genuine place in your heart. All right? Humble yourself. Be compassionate. Communicate with sincerity. Okay? And if you can't do that, then don't communicate at all until you get through this difficult energy. Because, you know, sometimes that's just what you gotta do. Sometimes you just gotta step away for a little bit. So if that's what you need, then that's what you need to do. Just make sure that if you do communicate, if you do talk to somebody, if you do try to make a point, that you're doing it with a genuine sense of love and compassion, and that you're doing it to help somebody become more enlightened, and not with the purpose of telling somebody that they're wrong, basically. Okay, so now we'll go ahead, we'll pull some cards to get some advice for my Geminis. Some advice for the week of July 26th through August 1st for Gemini. Can we get some advice, please? We have love. Okay, so try to be as loving as possible, even in your anger, even in your frustration, even when things are extremely difficult. You have to approach each situation with love, because that is the only way to get through it without doing more damage than it's worth, right? And And honestly, every situation should be approached in a loving manner anyway, for the most part. So, oh, I knocked over a card. Okay, one more advice card for my Geminis. Can you get one more card of advice for Gemini, please? All right, 4-legged, and it says endurance. This card is all about endurance, survival, strength, stamina. All right, so honestly, the advice here is to just try to keep in a place of love and hang in there and be strong until we get through this difficult energy. Like, it's gonna be a challenge, but it's not gonna last forever. And so you just have to hang in there and be strong until things calm down and everything kind of gets back to normal around you. Before wrapping this up, I'm going to go pull a couple Lenormand cards to just give us an idea of our best possible outcome for this week for Gemini. Okay, first we have the Rider. All right, the Rider, he brings messages. He comes in quickly with news. Let's see, what else? News of what? A man. News of a man. So this could be news coming from a man. This could be news about a man. This could be about a relationship. If you're a female in a relationship with a man, or you want to be, then that could be what this is about. Or you could be a man in a relationship with a man, and that could be what it's about. But some kind of news or information or a message coming in from or about a man in your life. I'm going to draw one more because that's pretty vague. I think everybody knows at least one man, right? Let's see, what else we got? So we have birds, chatter, and anxiety, gossip. Birds also can bring a warning of some kind. So, like, nervy energy is what I'm getting with the birds. but potentially do be expecting some kind of communication or a visit, even like a surprise visit from a man in your life, or somebody bringing news to you about a man in your life this week. And if I have to tie that into the rest of the reading, I would just say that when you do receive this news, if this applies to you and some information does come in about somebody in your life, that you be prepared for it in case it's not what you're expecting, to watch your mouth and make sure that you're speaking out of compassion and kindness, and to be honest. Be sincere. Yep, okay. That's all I'm really getting from that. So, thank you guys, Gemini, for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this reading and you'd like to see more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I upload new videos, which is every week. Until then, thank you guys. Take care.